Morning. So I just wanted to do a quick math review today. There's no extra work. If you wanted to go onto Mathletics and go through some of the problems related to some of the stuff we've covered, that would be a good idea. So I'm going to take up the homework though from yesterday. So the homework from yesterday, Bob is building a world in Minecraft. He wants to build a house using polished granite. It takes 4 blocks of granite to make 1 block of polished granite. His house will need 94 blocks of polished granite to complete. How many blocks of granite does Bob need to build the house? So first step is we have our question here. So we need to actually say what they're asking. So what they're asking is, how many blocks of granite, I'm going to say, does it take to make 94 blocks of polished granite? So that gives us a little more information than just repeating what they've asked. How many blocks of granite does Bob need to build his house? What they're really asking us is this: how many blocks of granite does it take to make 94 blocks of polished granite? So that is really specifically what they're asking. So I'm just going to change my view here so that it's zoomed in a little bit. Page width. There we go. All right. So now what do we know? Well, what do we know in the question? The question asks us, how many blocks does it take to make 94 blocks of polished granite? So what do we know? We know it takes 4 blocks of granite to make 1 block of polished granite. All right, so that's the key piece of information that we know in doing this problem. I'm just going to make this one smaller so that it doesn't take up too much of the screen. So that's the key piece of information we need to know. It takes 4 blocks of granite to make up 1 block of polished granite. So the plan. So if 1 block of polished granite takes 4 blocks, right? If 1 block of polished granite takes 4 blocks of granite, then, well, what are we doing here? What's our operation? 1 block to 4. I'm going to find, I know this number, it's going to be 94. I need 94 blocks of polished granite. Well, for every one of those 94, I need 4 blocks of granite. So what I need to do then is take the number of polished granite and multiply that by 4. So it's 4 granites for every block of polished granite. So I need to multiply polished granite I need by 4. All right, so the number of polished granite I need by 4. Or another way of putting that is 94 times 4. So now we need to do the work. So let's take a look at what that's going to look like. So let me think here. So it's going to be 94. I'm going to put it in this format because it's not going to work otherwise. And I want to put it, wait a minute here. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my work down here just to make it a little easier. 94 times 4. Because of the fun that is Smart Notebook, I need to configure this so that it works properly. And it's not being very nice to me right now. And it's not being nice to me at all. Because there's no way that's justified. Oh, there it is. That's why. All right, so I'm just going to need to get rid of this paragraph formatting. It's just one of the weird things that it does. Okay, so it's 94, and I need 4 for everyone. So the first thing I do, remember, is I'm going to multiply my 4 and 94 times my 4 on the bottom. So the 4 and the ones column, I'm looking at the ones column right now. So 4 times 4 I know is, in fact, 16. I remember that from my multiplication facts. So 16, but remember I cannot put the 1 down here. That's in the tens column. I have to save that 1 for later because my 9 times 6 is going to be in my tens column. So I'm going to get rid of that 1, bring it over here, and I'm going to actually move it up here. I'm going to add it in later. So now I can do my, that over here. So now I can actually do my next part, which is my 4. I'm going to this blue times my 9. So I'm multiplying my 4 times my 9, which remember is really 4 times 90. So 4 times 9 is 36. I'm going to add in my 1 here. Make that blue to show. So 4 times 6 is 36, plus 1 more is 37. So in that case, I know that it takes, so there's my work. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to move it up here to this bracket where this is my work bracket. So now I know my answer in here. Therefore, I will need 376 blocks of granite to make house. Right, so actually it's not you, it's Bob. Therefore, Bob will need 376 blocks of granite to make the house. I hope he's in creative mode because that's a lot of granite. All right, so hopefully that clarifies that problem. Hopefully that wasn't too difficult for you. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take a look at a review. Tomorrow we are having a quiz. All right, it's going to be in a Google format. And like I was saying before, you may use your multiplication table, but I don't want you to use a calculator, and please do this on your own. All right, so it just gives me an idea of where everybody is as far as how well this distance learning is working for you. Are you understanding the lessons? Are you watching the lessons? And hopefully you are. So first thing we did, this is just a review of what we've done so far, really briefly since the distance education started. So the first thing we sort of looked at was halving and doubling. And here's how it works. It's 5, well, we did look at the multiplication tables, but that's not going to be on the test. I mean, it sort of is, but I'm not going to straight out ask you multiplication questions. So this is a halving and doubling example. I have 5 times 12. I'm going to double my 5 and half my 12. Double 5 is 10. Half of 12 is 6. I know that 10 times 6 is 60. That's how those questions are done. So there'll be a few of those on the quiz. Second thing we did was multiplying by 10, 100, and 1,000. So in this case, you're just going to multiply the ones digit that you're multiplying it by the 1, which is 9, and add the 2 zeros in. Right, add the 2 zeros, and that's sort of how that works. If it's multiplied by 10, you're going to add the 1 0. By 1,000, you're going to add the 3 zeros. The next one we did was sort of a similar version to that, what I call multiplying by base 10 values. That means any number that 10 will divide into. So for example, if I do 9 times 4,000, I'm doing the 9 times 4 first, which is 36. And then I'm adding the 3 zeros in the 4,000 into my answer. So in this case, it's 36,000. This is a trickier one. I put this one in just to show you. So for this one, it's 6 times 5 is 30. And then I'm going to add my 2 zeros. So there's 2 zeros there. So keep in mind, there's just 3 zeros here, even though there's only 2 zeros here, because 6 times 5 is 30. So the first 0 comes from 6 times 5, which is 30. The last 2 zeros come from the 2 zeros in the 500. The fourth thing we did was the actual multiplication algorithm. So this was where we had to multiply a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number. I'm not going to give you anything bigger than 2 digits times 1 digits right now, even though 3 digits and 4 digits times 1 digits is the same thing. I can maybe show you that, maybe give you a bonus question that's like that one. So basically, the way this works, say I wanted to multiply 34 times 7. First, I'm going to look at the ones column, the 7 times the 4. 7 times 4 is 28, but I have to carry my 2 tens in 28. I'm gonna put it up there. Then I'm gonna do my 7 times 3, which is 21. Add in my 2 that I carried from the 7 times 4. So I'm going to get 23. 238 is my answer. So that's how those questions are done. So hopefully that's fairly straightforward. And the quiz will be tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. It'll be a Google form. You're just going to fill in the answers. You're probably going to need a pencil and a paper and an eraser. Well, you don't really need an eraser. Pencil and paper for sure. And you're just going to put your values in, hand it in, and that's it. And hopefully this stuff you're finding this stuff fairly straightforward. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you later.